Hello and welcome to another Eoldi Battle Reps painting video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, a long time actually. I'm going to do this one slightly differently to the previous ones. I'm doing this almost like a Blue Peter style. So there's as you can see in front of me, I've got a whole line of models. This is what the finished article will look like, painting a blue horror. Okay. I'm really just going to show you how to paint the blue today. The fire I will do in a different video, because I'm going to do a video on painting brimstone horrors, which will be exactly the same way that I've painted that fire. So if I can get close so you can see. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't focus sometimes, but it does. Anyway, there's that. So you start off obviously with blank grey model. I sprayed all these ones Maca Ridge blue. That colour, so I've got the blue spray and I sprayed them blue. So when you spray them, they end up looking a bit like this. Pretty well done. It's hard to get the spray in every nook and cranny. So, paintpot's a good shake. As I said in my introduction video, if you watched it, is I don't water down paint. People hate me for it, but I don't. So I then just make sure it's got a good layer of blue all over it. A little bit dusty actually, it's a bit weird. Get the whole thing nice and blue, make sure there's blue all over, well covered. Okay, we've done it all. Make sure you don't put too much paint on your brush though. Although I don't water down my paint, I do use quite thin amount. I do spread it quite thinly. Otherwise you'll end up with globules of paint and you'll start losing detail. Oops, off camera. Painted it all. We've done it all. It'll look like this one. So he is now thoroughly blue all over. Okay, no grey showing on it at all. So next stage, after you've washed my brush, is the wash. I use Null oil, just a normal shade. I'm quite liberal with how I use my shade. I don't worry too much about there being too much. So let's see if I can show you a bit. Quite thick. I think it's fine to do it quite thick. Fill it quite well. You want to make sure it's really. I like to get it quite dark with this. We lighten it up later with different paints. Great thing with this, you'll get the blue skin tone I showed you before using just 3 paints. Oops, I'm turning off camera again. It's quite hard to look at the camera, which is sitting in front of me on a tripod, and look at the model. And I can't quite get to the point yet where I can actually paint just by looking at the camera, because I can't do it. So I apologise if some of this is going off camera. I'm going to do the whole wash on this, mainly because if I leave it and just do half, I'll have to come back to it and it might actually ruin my model. That's one important note. If you're going to wash a model, or wash part of a model, if you only want part of it to be washed, do all of the bit you want to wash in that wash. Don't leave a little bit of it and then come back to it and wash the other bit later. Not on models like this. When I come to paint my Lord of Change, I might have to wash it in bits. Oops, just dropped him for no reason. He's getting nice and dark now. His mouth's nice and dark. I want the inside of his mouth to be black, really. So plenty of wash in there. We tend to find, obviously, with wash, it dribbles towards the bottom of the model. But I don't tend to find that's a problem because I just flock the bottom of it, and you can't. Sometimes you'll end up with a big black blob of wash on his foot or something. Doesn't matter. I just paint over it. Either paint over it or just cover it in flock. So that's him. That's one washed. That was quick. I'll just leave him. Sometimes if I can, you can't see it on the camera, I'll hold it under a nice strong light to start drying it off a little bit. I was saying that I've now put energy saving light bulb into this bulb so it doesn't get hot anymore. Oh, I used to do that. But sometimes you can hold it over a nice hot light. I'm doing it, you can't see it on camera, I'm holding it over a nice hot light now and it'll just dry it off a little bit for you. So that's the next stage. So we've gone from grey, sprayed blue, nice good layer of Mackerridge blue, layer of Null oil. And what you'll have when it dries is something that looks like this. I can find a point where it focuses. Where's the lens? There. So it looks fairly, oh that's better, fairly dark. They need a more detailed brush. I actually, sorry Games Workshop, I use Army Painter brushes because I think they are better. This is the, oh it's not focusing very well. Turn that off, and there we go. So this is the Insane Detail brush. I'll put the lights back on again in a second. There's the Insane. This is the Insane Detail brush, and the one I was using before is the Regiment brush. And I've also got the, it's called the Character brush, which is a bit thicker. So the one that I did it before was my stick brush, like that. I'm about to use the, oh no, actually no, I'm about to use the one I just showed you, the Character one, not the Insane Detail. You don't need Insane Detail for this bit. Just put that one on, I think. So then you need your Mackerridge blue again. Okay. No, not Mackerridge blue actually, I completely lied. It is 3 paints. Altdorf blue. Altdorf Guard blue is the one I'm going to use next. Give it a good shake. Okay. So I'd like to start with liquid paintbrush on a bit I know is going to work. So I tend to start on something like this tentacle. And this paint is relatively thin, so you can risk either doing a slightly thicker bit or not worrying too much about it being a thin layer. We're going to go over it in another colour afterwards anyway. Make sure you don't accidentally meet a groove where you want the wash to stay. Got a bit too much paint on my brush on this bit. So I'm doing it too much paint on your brush, it doesn't look quite as good. So don't put too much paint on your brush, is the answer to that question. Dab a bit off on there. And the muscles. Just painting little circles around where the muscles are. You can see I'm dabbing the paint on. Okay, that's what works for me in my painting. Move the model around. You always want to make sure you're painting like that. You don't want to be moving your hand around and painting in weird directions. Move the model rather than your brush. So I've left a groove there. I'll put the big light on in a second, hopefully you can see the detail better of what I've done. Doing this relatively quickly, I usually take a bit longer on it, but for the sake of the video, I don't want it to be a really long video for you to watch. Have it on, just tiny little bits of paint on your brush. It's better to spread layers of paint, thin layers, than put one big wodge of it on and regret it. And this bit here, it's quite a fine detail bit, this bit. Right, if I want to pay fine detail, I make sure this point is at the last point of it, and I draw backwards, never push your paintbrush forwards. Okay, I'm not going to show you any more of that one because I can show you one that's done. That's that bit so far, and you'll end up with something that looks like that. Okay, get to focus. You can now see all the muscles and everything on there as well. Put the big bright light on. There we go, that's better. You can see that better now. Hold it there. You can really see what I've done with that. It's exactly the same as what I did on this one. There's that guy next to each other, okay? So the next bit, which is, for me, is the final bit. You can add more on. You can use, some people use the Lothern blue to a bit of an edge, but I don't really bother with these guys. Mainly because they're pink, they're blue horrors. I don't see the point in spending too long painting blue horrors. For a lot of change or a herald, you spend longer on it. But for a unit of blue horrors, who's got the time? Really, who's got the time unless you work for Games Workshop? So the last paint is Kalador Sky. You can see actually I've started this one already. Looks like that. So this is a bit tricky, a little bit dusty, so I'll just blow them off. Okay, again, small amount of paint on your brush. Find the place to start. So I usually find where the rounded part of a muscle is and start there, because I figure that's the bit where it's going to be strongest. Always dabbing off paint. You want to leave a thin line of the old colour paint before it hits the wash. I would say I've actually done that slightly too thick, but that's okay. It's only a blue horror. Again, got a detail bit, so I'm going to be really careful with it. What I do is, you can see, I rest my finger on some part of the model. Like I said that in the previous video, what I'll do is I'll choose a point of the model, so top of his finger here, which I'll paint last. So I can leave my finger on that while I paint the rest of it. Especially with that, look, still leaning on it, still got space. Just makes it a bit easier, I find. You know, I might find that you don't paint like that, and that's fine. Whatever works for you. It's just how I do it. Okay, let's do a little bit more so I can show you what it looks like. So again, this bit, got a rounded bit of muscle here. Bring it round in a circle. The way you paint will accent the circles that you make. So if you make a circle, it'll almost look like a circle. There. Again here, the circle of that muscle is kind of in the middle. So I'm going to make a circle and then paint outwards from that point. I think I'm still on off camera. Okay, there we go. So it will end up, when you've done it all, it will eventually look like this guy. That's the skin, of course. There he is. Alright, so there you go. That was, what, 4 paints to paint the skin on a blue horror. You could stop, if you wanted to make it even simpler, you could stop at this point. If you wanted them to be darker and not bother with the layer of Kalador Sky. I would always do the layer of Kalador Sky. I think the Kalador Sky is a really nice colour to finish off with. It looks really good. And then the bronze detail on it, I will quickly run over how to do that. It's just a layer of Hashut copper. And all I do is do a layer of Hashut copper, thin, very thin black wash over it, and that is it. I don't layer any more paint on it again. I'll occasionally pick out some of these details with a bit more of the Hashut copper again, and maybe put some silver on the end if I really feel like it. But again, I'll do that more on characters rather than a unit, which, you know, they die too quickly and we don't want to paint them too much. As I said, I'll do another video on the flames, because I'll do a video on brimstone horrors, so you can watch that one to see how to do the flames, because the flames on these guys will be done the same as the flames on Brimstone Horror. So there you go, that's the whole way across. So we started with our plain built model, sprayed it Maca Ridge blue, filled in the sprayed areas to make sure there was no grey left. Nice, good, I don't say very thick, people hate me when I say thick for painting, but thick black wash. Go over it with Altdorf blue, and finally the Calidor Sky, isn't it? Calidor Sky blue. That's how I do my blue horrors. I'll do some more Tzitzit models. If you've watched one of the other videos where I've unboxed a load of Tzitzit models, I'll be painting all those and showing you how to do that as well. So thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.